I've been carrying a Glock for more than 10 years. Solid, reliable. I know that platform like the back of my hand. But here's the twist you probably didn't expect. These days, my Glock often stays at home. Not because it let me down, not because I lost confidence in it, but because I discovered something that fits me better. Something lighter, simpler, and for the way I live, even more dependable. I'm talking about snub-nosed revolvers. Yeah, those little wheel guns everyone once called outdated. But here in 2025, they're making a comeback in a big way, and not just with beginners or nostalgic old-timers. I'm talking about experienced Glock carriers like me, people who value reliability above all else, deliberately switching over. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 specific snub-nosed revolvers that are turning heads and turning holsters right now. We'll talk about what Glock still does right, what it doesn't, and why more and more everyday carriers are deciding that when it comes to trusting your life to a firearm, sometimes less really is more.
Number 1. Ruger LCR. If there's one revolver that has redefined what carry-friendly truly means, it is the Ruger LCR. Let's be honest, most revolvers have that old-school steel and wood vibe. Not this one. The LCR feels like the iPhone of revolvers, sleek, efficient, and designed with function in mind. And it is one of the biggest reasons why Glock owners like me are rethinking our everyday carry setup. Let's talk about weight. The LCR chambered in .380 special ammunition weighs just under 14 ounces unloaded. Go for the .357 Magnum ammunition version and it is still under 18 ounces. That is feather light compared to a fully loaded Glock 19 or even a compact 43X. Slip it into a pocket holster, an ankle rig, or an appendix setup and it disappears. The polymer lower frame does not just save weight, it absorbs recoil better than you would think. Ruger's patented cam-based trigger system is a game changer. That double-action pull, smooth, consistent, and predictable. It's not a target trigger by any means, but for defensive shooting, it's exactly what you want. No mush, no stack, just clean movement through the pull. Another win, grip design. Unlike many revolvers that feel like you're trying to hold a rock with a handle, the LCR's grip melts into your palm. Even with sweaty hands or gloves, it stays put. And with the exposed cylinder and internal hammer, there's nothing to snag on clothing during the draw. Now, if you're wondering how 5 rounds of .380 special ammunition or .357 Magnum ammunition can replace your double-stack Glock 19, here's what I'll say. Placement beats capacity, and under stress, you'll want a trigger you can trust and a platform that will not fail you, even if you're shooting from a compromised position or inside a jacket pocket. Is it perfect? No, reloads are slower and it will not win any matches. But for the pure task of getting rounds on target when your life is on the line, the LCR might be the cleanest, most streamlined carry gun I've ever owned. No slide to rack, no magazines to seat, no second chances required. Just 5 rounds and 5 reasons to rethink that polymer striker fired habit.
Number 2. Smith & Wesson 642 Ultimate Carry. Now, let's talk about a revolver that's been hiding in plain sight for decades, yet somehow still manages to outclass many modern carry guns when it comes to pure practicality. The Smith & Wesson 642 Ultimate Carry. This little beast is the definition of no frills, no fail. And if you've ever tried pocket carrying a Glock, you already know exactly why the 642 earns its spot on this list. The 642 weighs just 14.44 ounces. That is not light for a gun. That is featherweight, period. We're talking aluminum alloy frame, stainless steel cylinder, and the kind of size that disappears in gym shorts, cargo pants, or even slacks. Glock 43X in the same pocket? Not unless you want a brick-shaped outline greeting everyone you pass. But this revolver isn't just light. It's built with purpose. It's double action only, which means no external hammer to snag on clothing. You could fire it straight from a coat pocket if you absolutely had to. That is the kind of real-world advantage no semi-automatic can match without risking a jam. Now let's talk about how it shoots. It is chambered in .38 special ammunition. And while it's not a plush experience recoil-wise, it is completely manageable with proper grip. This isn't a range toy. It is a last resort answer to a worst-case scenario. And for that job, it delivers. What sets the 642 apart is its record. This revolver has been carried by undercover cops, retired detectives, off-duty instructors, and thousands of civilians who just want something simple, effective, and always ready. You would be hard-pressed to find any widespread complaint about function or reliability, and that says a lot in today's world of picky magazines and ammo sensitivity. Compared to a Glock, the 642 requires no magazine checks, no rack and tap drills, no worries about a slide hanging up on a soft draw. You pull the trigger and it goes bang every single time. It does not ask for attention, it does not beg to be customized, and it does not care if it gets scratched up or pocket-linted to death. It is a gun that's ready when you are. And for many of us, that quiet dependability is exactly what we are missing.
Number 3. Colt King Cobra Carry. If the LCR and 642 are all about concealability and simplicity, the Colt King Cobra Carry enters with a different energy entirely. This is the revolver for Glock owners who want to upgrade, not just switch. It brings everything we love about .357 Magnum ammunition and wraps it in a compact, carryable, and undeniably classy package. The King Cobra Carry isn't just another snub-nosed revolver. It's a 6-shot stainless steel revolver with a 2-inch barrel, double action only, and that iconic Colt smoothness. The minute you hold one, it's obvious this isn't a gimmick or a nostalgia trip. This is a serious defensive firearm with modern build quality and real-world power. Let's talk about capacity. Most snub-noses give you 5 rounds. The King Cobra gives you 6. I know it does not sound like a huge difference, but in a worst-case scenario, that 6th round can feel like gold. And when you're launching full-house .357 Magnum ammunition, you don't need a whole magazine to get the job done. Now, here's where it really stands out for Glock owners: control. Despite being stainless steel and chambered in a powerful caliber, the King Cobra Carry balances beautifully in the hand. The recoil is stiff but controllable, and the trigger pull is smooth as butter. You will not get that same predictable roll in most striker-fired guns, no matter how much aftermarket polish you slap on. And let's not ignore psychology. Carrying a Glock feels like utility. Carrying a King Cobra feels like authority. You draw this thing and it makes a statement. The look, the heft, the name, it commands attention. But more importantly, it delivers performance. The downside? Sure, it's heavier than a Glock 43X. You will notice it on the belt, but it carries its weight well. And for those willing to train with it, the trade-off in accuracy and firepower is more than worth it. For me, the King Cobra Carry is the revolver equivalent of the Glock 19, but classier, punchier, and built for the long game. It is not your first gun, it is your grown-up gun. And for those Glock owners who've outgrown the plastic and want something with more bite, this revolver is exactly where you land.
Number 4. The Taurus 856 Defender TORO. If you told me 5 years ago that Taurus would be the one challenging Glock's dominance in the everyday carry world, I'd probably laugh and walk off. But here we are in the year 2025, and the Taurus 856 Defender TORO is not only being taken seriously, it's giving seasoned Glock carriers a real reason to jump ship. Let's start with what makes this revolver stand out. TORO stands for Taurus Optics Ready Option. Yes, you heard that right. This is a revolver that's red dot compatible straight out of the box. We're talking a snub-nosed, 3-inch barrel, 6-shot, chambered in 38 Special Plus P ammunition, complete with an optics plate system that accepts micro red dots like the Holosun 470K and the Shield RMSC. Now pause and think about that. One of Glock's biggest advantages has always been modularity. Red dots, threaded barrels, suppressor height sights. You can build your Glock like a Lego set. But with the Defender TORO, you get that optic-ready flexibility on a revolver. No custom machining, no adapters, just screw it on and zero it. But this isn't just about flashy features. The Taurus 856 Defender TORO is actually a solid shooter. The trigger is surprisingly smooth for a wheel gun in its price range, and that extra inch of barrel length over traditional snub noses makes a real difference in velocity, sight radius, and balance. Plus, you've got a front night sight and a no-nonsense rubber grip that locks into the hand.
Of course, some Glock loyalists will scoff. Taurus isn't reliable, they'll say. And that might have been true once upon a time. But Taurus has turned a corner. Fit and finish have improved, quality control has tightened, and the company is aggressively targeting the carry market with features that Glock simply does not offer at this price. And that's the kicker. For half the price of a tricked-out Glock MOS with a red dot, you can carry a reliable, powerful, and optics-equipped revolver with fewer moving parts, less maintenance, and a simpler manual of arms. If you've ever said, "I'd love to carry a revolver, but I need my red dot," the Defender TORO just called your bluff. This is not your grandpa's snub-nose. It's the budget-minded Glock killer nobody saw coming.
Number 5. The Kimber K6. When I first picked up the Kimber K6, I wasn't thinking about Glock. I was thinking about elegance, refinement, something closer to a Swiss watch than a service pistol. But the moment I put rounds through it, that changed. The Kimber K6 isn't just beautiful, it's brutally capable. And it's winning over Glock carriers who want their everyday carry to feel like a serious commitment, not just a plastic habit. Let's get technical. The K6 is a .357 Magnum ammunition revolver with a 2-inch barrel, although longer variants exist. It holds 6 rounds, which immediately puts it ahead of most snub-nosed revolvers in capacity. The frame and cylinder are made of solid stainless steel, giving it a planted, confident heft at just over 23 ounces unloaded. It is not feather light, but that weight becomes your friend the moment you touch off a Magnum round. Now, what sets the K6 apart from the crowd, and especially from striker-fire pistols like the Glock 43X or even the Glock 26, is the trigger. Kimber designed this thing with an internal hammer and a match-grade, factory-tuned, double-action trigger pull. It is smooth, linear, and shockingly crisp for a double-action revolver. There's no grit, no stacking, it just glides. And let's talk about recoil. You'd expect a gun this size, firing full-power .357 Magnum ammunition, to feel like a firecracker in your palm. But the K6 manages recoil better than many Glocks I've shot in 9mm. The steel frame absorbs energy, the grip design distributes force efficiently, and the balance is nearly perfect. It doesn't flip, it settles. But here's the emotional hook. This gun feels like it was built with intention, not mass-produced, not committee-designed. It doesn't beg for aftermarket tweaks or threaded gadgets. It is what it is: tight, strong, purpose-built, and classy as hell. This is the revolver for the Glock owner who's tired of polymers, tired of troubleshooting magazine issues, and tired of carrying something that looks like a barcode scanner. The K6 doesn't need hype. It just works, and it looks damn good doing it. Is it the lightest? No. Is it the cheapest? Definitely not. But if you're ready to elevate not just your carry, but your confidence, the K6 makes a statement that no Glock ever could.
So, is Glock dead? Absolutely not. It's still one of the most trusted names in personal defense. But here's the truth a lot of us have learned the hard way. When you carry every single day, when you train beyond just range selfies, when you think about that one moment that could change your life, the revolver starts to make a lot more sense. Not because it's trendy, not because it's old school cool, but because it's simpler, tougher, and more honest. These 5 snub-nosed revolvers I've shown you aren't gimmicks. They're not backups anymore. They're the tools carried by people who understand that in the end, reliability beats capacity, and function beats fashion. If you're still holding onto your Glock like it's untouchable, maybe it's time to ask yourself why. And if you've already made the switch, then welcome to what I call the wheel gun renaissance. Now I want to hear from you. Are you sticking with Glock, or are you ready to trade it in for something that just works every single time? Drop your thoughts in the comments.